Our first story takes us to Omaha, Nebraska. It was a crisp autumn afternoon, the kind of day where the golden lights of fall dance with the wind. But on November 8th, 2024, something else was moving through the shadows. Just around noon, a man stood in the driveway of his ex-wife's house, putting away his tools. A normal day, until an eerie sensation crept up his spine. An instinct, a whisper in the wind, urging him to turn around. And there it was, towering, watching, moving between the buildings just beyond his truck. He only saw it for a moment, a fleeting glimpse of something massive, covered in dark brown hair. His breath caught in his throat. "Did I just see what I thought I saw?" he asked. "You finally saw it," she whispered. For years, members of his own family had encountered something. Something that lurked in the shadows of Nordson Gardens. His ex-wife, his daughter, even his sister. They had all seen it. Now finally, so had he. Determined to find answers, he followed the direction it had gone. Stepping cautiously towards the trees, the air was thick with hesitation. Silence pressed down on him. He listened, he watched, but there was nothing. The creature had vanished. 4 hours later, the phone rang. His ex-wife's voice trembled through the receiver. 2 roofers working nearby had just seen something. In panicked whispers, they called it a monster. This was no illusion, no trick of the mind. Others had seen it too. For over 50 years, sightings of this creature had been reported in the area. Longtime residents spoke of eerie encounters, strange figures in the night. And now, an expert investigator had stepped in. Skeptical at first, investigator Matthew pulled up satellite images, retracing possible paths. What he found sent chills down his spine. A hidden pathway, a direct route for something to move unseen, the same route that deer took, the same route a predator might follow. But the most chilling discovery? This creature wasn't just passing through. It was staying, hiding, watching. Within 300 feet of one of the most prestigious zoos in the world, something lurked in the night. Was it drawn by the scent of exotic animals, or was it simply waiting for darkness? No one knows how often it returns, but one thing is certain. It has been here before, and it will be here again. What would you do if you saw it? Please like, subscribe, and comment for more real-life encounters. Have you seen something you can't explain? Please share your story below. There are places in this world untouched by time. Dense forest where shadows stretch long and the air feels different. Our second story is of one such place, and one hunter's encounter with something he never thought possible. It was November 2nd, 2024, the heart of deer season in Newberry County, South Carolina. A lone hunter, an experienced outdoorsman, sat concealed in his ground blind. The world was still waking up. The crisp autumn air carried the scent of damp earth and fallen leaves. He had hunted this land since childhood. He knew every rustling leaf, every snapping twig. But that morning, something felt different. A heaviness in the air, an unfamiliar tension. Then, it happened. A sound so primal, so unfamiliar that his instincts screamed at him to run. A deep, resonant grunt, followed by the unmistakable force of something heavy stomping the ground behind him. He turned, and there it was. 20 yards away, obscured only by tangled branches, stood a figure unlike anything he had ever seen. 7, maybe 7.5 feet tall, broad-shouldered, long, muscular arms hanging at its sides. Their eyes met, man and beast, predator and something else. 30 seconds. That's how long they stared at each other. But to the hunter, it felt like an eternity. A silent exchange, not of aggression, not of fear, but of understanding. Then, just as quickly as it appeared, it was gone. No crashing through the trees, no frantic retreat. Just a quiet departure, as if it had simply lost interest. A police officer by profession, the hunter had been trained to assess, analyze, and respond. But what do you do when faced with something that shouldn't exist? He wanted to tell himself it was just a bear, a trick of the morning light. But bears don't stand 7 feet tall, and they certainly don't walk away on 2 legs. He never told anyone at first. Who'd believe him? A police officer, a man of logic, claiming to have seen something out of a legend. It could ruin him. But he wasn't alone. Reports of similar encounters dotted the map, many near the very place he had been. He wasn't the first, and he wouldn't be the last. The woods hold secrets. Some we can explain, others we can't. But if you ever find yourself deep in the forests of South Carolina, just before dawn, and the air suddenly grows heavy, the world too quiet, listen closely, because something might be listening back. Thank you so much for watching. We love getting a chance to tell these little-known Bigfoot stories. Please give this video a like and let us know if you have an experience you'd like to share. You never know. It might just be the next big story.